Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Want to quick apologize if yesterday's quality was not the best, but case opening, we did it on the fly last minute. But regardless, today we're going to go over an obvious topic. So, Sky Striker with Dragoon. Um, this actually did pretty well for me. I was able to beat Invoked Eldritch and Dogmatica Invoked. Those were the two big ones. I struggled against Infernoble Hand Grip because the guy opened Lightning Storm 2 matches, and then the final match he opened evenly matched. So that was kind of meh, but whatever. So Sky Striker, Dragoon. So we're just gonna go into the basic list, and then I'll kind of give a quick description of how it's useful and why I think Sky Strikers are perfect for this. So in standard, you need 3 Ray, obvious. 3 Effect Failure, which is again obvious because we do play the Access Code Talker thing, because that's still pretty good and it's a nice option to have. 2 Rose, 2 Ghost Hugger, 2 Ash Blossom. Our hand trap lineup is sort of small, but we are playing Avarice, so, and because we're gonna have a lot more dumping because for the Dragoons. So that's pretty much for the monster list, including these two. Kind of small, but it's always been kind of small. Hand traps is not crazy too much because of Dragoon. We don't need too much hand traps, and this guy goes like burr. The one problem is you gotta watch out for is if they triple tactics after you Dragoon. That's why I try to do all the hand traps first, and then I try to Dragoon after if I need to. Or if it's like your turn and you're just trying to finalize some stuff. Moving on to the spells, we have 3 Red Eyes Fusion. So we're not playing Verde. You want to actually draw into this because you're going to put him in your extra monster zone. This way it doesn't shut out any of your plays, and Dragoon will be enough of a body to actually outgrind most people. That's how I ended up winning most of my matches, because Dragoon was able to outgrind pretty much every single time he was out. It was very hard to out, and when it did get outed, guess what? We had a lot of hand advantage to the Sky Strikers, so we kept on going on and on. If Engage was legal, it would already be banned again. 2 Mystic Mines, 2 Widow Anchor, 2 Shark Cannon. Not 3. You could play 3 considering the format, but I'm like mixing with my list, and I find that 2 is a nice number, especially because we have Kagari. So 2 Area 0. You can bump it up to 3 if you want. 2 actually worked out pretty fine for me, and in all honesty, it's player preference, but 2 should be enough because Dragoon will give you enough time. 2 Avarice, Multi-Roll, Jamming Waves. We have Afterburners and Drones. These are just the obvious one-ofs, and this is what you should be playing for Sky Strikers of one-ofs. You can play a Hercules base, but we have Avarice, so it's not really needed anymore. We also have Terraforming, Rhoda, and Upstart. You can play the Foolish Burial with the Metalist Fusion. I'm considering that, but I'm seeing enough consistency with this deck as it is, so... And we don't really need it that much anymore, considering that Engage isn't a thing. We can't just draw infinitely off Engage. Moving on to traps, we just have 3 Crackdown. This is actually pretty broken in today's format. Take Halki Fibrax, or take a Rorodon, or like when they make Savage, chain this to Savage. It actually worked out pretty well. I really like Crackdown. I'm glad I actually put it in. And then we also have 3 Chocobo. Not much to be said about actually the main deck, other than the Red Eyes, but we're still going through. So we have 3 Shizuku, which is obvious. We have 3 Hayate. I found this really vital because with the Chocobo lock, it kind of just like makes the opponent want to attack into you more, but then you'll keep on poking with Hayate for game in time of the round, or even just straight out winning. Not much to be said in all honesty. Wonderful card. I genuinely like this. And Hayate for game, pretty much. Something I'm doing different than not everyone else is doing. I'm only playing 2 Kagari because with Pot of Avarice, I'm able to recycle enough as it is. Kagari is wonderful, don't get me wrong, but specifically because of Chocobo and how much I've seen Chocobo, 3 was a bit much, so 2 was like the perfect ratio. I didn't even end up going through all 3 when I had 3. So 2 for my ratio seems to work pretty well. And in place of a third one, we have 1 Kaina. So, not much to be said. That's pretty obvious, except for the Kagari. But my reasons are my reasons, and it works out. And I hope you guys experiment with the list yourself and see what you like. And then you have one Zeke. That's kind of obvious in today's format. We have a Halki Fibrax and a Celine and access code for that little combo. So for something special is Abomination. Now this card works really well because if you crack down a Link 3 like Unicorn, and if they don't extend past that, you make Abomination, and then the grind game becomes fun because you start popping everything during every end phase and start killing all their cards easy. And when it pops into a battle, you pop back row. It makes the grind game non-existent because you're going to start popping every single thing. And for a 3k body, it's not bad. And then, of course, we have Dragoon. Not much to be said. So, Dragoon was a game changer in my duels because it enabled me to keep the aggression on without even doing a lot, without going through a lot of resources for all my Shizukus and all my searching. It kind of made it easy because they couldn't really do anything with it. They just kept on looking at them, and they had the triple tactics, but I ended up waiting for triple tactics, so they never really did anything. The one out I had problem with was Dogmatica Invoked. However, I still won that, and it was because he kept on forbidden dropping Dragoon whenever I used its effect. So, how to beat that? Defense. And then during your turn, when you're going to start battling, you can go for it. But can't be targeted, can't be destroyed. It really is overall protection. It's such a wonderful card, and I'm glad that most people are prepared for it. So that's kind of why my idea for Dragoon, because it can go into the extra monster zone, does not stop all your back row. It's kind of like you're playing Dragoon Turbo with back row support, and if that fails, you have Sky Strikers, and they mix perfectly with that. You could even kind of play this in like Altergeist if you wanted to, for that weird kind of feeling mix, but I don't think you need to. But again, it's like Numerons kind of thing. It's another thing that just came out of nowhere, and people were scared about it, and people were loving it, and I understand why. I don't know if it's healthy for the game state, turboing it out, because for Sky Strikers, we're just going to summon once, maybe Link summon one more time if we're going first, or just go second, Dragoon, go bird, pop both, and then start killing them. Let me win a lot of games, and I'm genuinely glad. I think a lot of people need to test this out. Some people were giving me negative feedback about it, but it works pretty well. Very few complaints on how the actual synergy is, other than the obvious argument that you're running multiple bricks. But it doesn't become a brick when you're playing this mana Red Eyes Fusion. Because even if you draw it, who cares as long as you resolve Red Eyes Fusion? The one problem you're going to run into is getting ashed on the Red Eyes Fusion, but then that's when the back row comes in, and even if they negate the activation, then you can still summon. So it's up to each. I was playing Call by the Grave, but then I took it out because I'm playing a lot of hand traps, and I actually want more oppression. So to each their own. I recommend everyone experiments with the list. Please like, comment, subscribe so we can do more things. We also got another case duel coming up where we're going to duel with our cases. But again, thanks everyone for watching. Please let me know what we want to do next. The case wars is going to be happening soon. I have to see more Dragoons, but Dragoon won't actually be playable because there's no way to bring them out with the stuff comes in the case. My list is going to be probably different than what my buddy's list is going to be, so we're going to see what happens in our duel. So make sure you stay subscribed for that. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll have to see you all in the next video.